there CST248, it's me again, and I just want to come on here and do a quick tutorial on kind of how to use Sing & See. Because I know I explained a little bit of music theory back in the other video, but I kind of wanted to give you a quick tutorial on how to navigate the program before you just dive in. So in this live, you're going to be completing 2 tasks, and so I'd like to split those up today. And first of all, let's focus on the first one, which is going to be matching pitch. Alright, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is go ahead and open the software and make sure that it's on pitch view. So if you look over here on the top, you'll see pitch, and then if you go to spectrogram, that's going to look a little bit different with all those blue bars there. And then if you have combined as well, you get both. But for the purposes of this task, we're going to want to go for the pitch view right over here. Okay, and the second thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that your mic is turned on. And a really simple way to do that is if you just record something really quickly and then go over here to the green bar and see if it goes any higher. So let's just record something really quickly. Da 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 da. See? Works just fine. Alright, so for the first task, the very first thing I want you to do is just to sing any note you want. Whatever comes out of your mouth is good with me. But don't just sing like literally any note you want. Make sure that it's within your normal range for speech and that it's sustained. And what sustained means is that it's just like ah, or whatever comes out. It's not ah, you know? And then make sure you click record as well. So let's try that really quickly. And then stop. Alright, so how to read this. I know it looks a little bit daunting at first, but we're gonna break it down. It's gonna be all okay. So did you see over here, all the way over here on the left, how there were note names? And that's kind of what I talked about in the last video, how each frequency has its own note name. So that's gonna show up over here on the left. So I think I was singing a D sharp, and that could also be an E flat if you remember what I was talking about in the last video. But as you can see here, I did have some perturbations over here, and over here once I started like dying down my breath support. But for the most part, I stayed pretty stable here on that D sharp. And then if you look over here, all the way on the right, you'll see that that's about 311 hertz. So what we can conclude from that is that D sharp is 311 hertz. So make sure that you go ahead and write down the note name and also the frequency that you just sang. So let's kind of unpack that just a little bit. So what the software was giving you was the note name. And so we would call that in common terms the pitch. So the pitch that I was just singing was a D sharp. But if we unpack this a little bit more and we go into more speech science terms, then we know that I was singing around 311 hertz. So if we can correlate D sharp with 311 hertz, then we know that pitch is the common term for frequency. Okay, for this next task, I want you to sing a little bit higher than what you just sang, okay? So let's try this out really quickly. Make sure to click record here at the top. And then stop. Alright, so I added a little bit of vibrato in there just in case you might have some natural vibrato or anything like that. It's totally okay if you see some more sine waves, because that's honestly what normal speech looks like as well. We just don't talk like this. You know, there's going to be a lot of cycle variations in between our speech. And so if you look at this note over here, I think what I was singing was an A sharp. And that's what we see over here in the Sing & See bar all the way to the left. But then if we look over here, in the frequency analysis, I was singing pretty much, I was pretty shaky, gotta be honest, but I was singing around an A sharp, and then over here once the vibrato started to level out a little bit more, it kept going in between that A sharp red line. And so if you look over here to the right, you're gonna see that I am in between 494 and 440 hertz. So about, I really can't do math, but about like 470, I would say, is about where I was singing. And so then we can again correlate that pitch with frequency. Okay, for this next task, I want you to focus on something just a little bit differently. So I want you to sing the same note that you just sang. It doesn't have to be exact, but just kind of around there. But this time, I want you guys to focus on the right side. So that's gonna be over here. Even farther beyond the frequencies, I want you to focus on this green bar here and where the green bar goes as you're singing. Just sing at a normal volume, whatever is comfortable for you. Okay, did you see over here on the right how my voice actually went all the way up to around 6 or 7 and it kind of got like a little more yellow or orange? So what the software is telling you there is the intensity or the loudness. So the software makes it kind of simple in that it's giving you your intensity on a scale from 1 to 10, and each scale degree is a 6 decibel difference. So I believe that like 0 is 0, and then 6, 12, 18, etc., etc. And so let's test something out. If I were to sing really, really loudly, you see how my voice got like really, really high and it was kind of like orangey red up there? And then if I were to sing really, really quietly, see there? Isn't that so cool? Alright, so now I want to move on to the second task, and that's going to be singing a pretty familiar tune to you guys. And this involves actually using the piano. In the lab, I've actually put down the keyboard shortcuts if you're more familiar with the piano. And there's actually like keyboard like keys that you can press to get to the note that I want you to play. But if you're not familiar with using a piano or anything like that, you can definitely just click on the notes right up here at the top. And so we're going to be singing Mary Had a Little Lamb. Now you're all shocked about that. So the first note that I want you guys to sing is 349 hertz. And so that is the note letter F. And that's just an arbitrary number. There's really no reason why F is 349 hertz, but that's just the way it is. Let's go over here to about F4. I want you guys to match that pitch. So whatever the computer gives back to you, you try to sing there. Okay, so if we have da, go ahead and try to sing that. And make sure as you're doing it, note how it feels to sing that. Is there any like subglottal pressure? Is there a lot of diaphragm movement? Are you using a lot of air? Is there any tension? Note all of these things and then write those down in your lab as well. And so you're going to do these for about 3 more notes, and I won't bore you with doing all those tutorials there, but at the end result, what you're going to do is sing all those notes in the succession that I gave you in the lab. So at the very, very end of your lab, it should look like this. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. Yeah! I think the coolest part of this lab for me was that I actually just got to see the pitches that I was singing and just like it was right there. And so I really hope that that worked out for you as well, and that you got to see what your voice looks like, because as a singer I can't even tell you how valuable a resource that is to be able to not only hear what you're trying to say, but to visually see, okay, so maybe I was singing a little bit flat there or a little bit sharp, and the numbers don't lie. So I really hope that this was helpful to you guys, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask Dr. Vinny or any of your TAs or your classmates, and I'm sure that you will do just fine. Thank you so much for watching this video, and good luck!